Hello, I welcome you all to this wonderful lesson. This is an interesting lesson. You are going to enjoy it. So we are starting calculation from equations. These are balanced chemical equations. You need to make sure that each equation that you get to write in chemistry is balanced. So we are still under a topic called stoichiometry calculations. This is the topic that we are still looking at. And in today's lesson, we are going to start with what we get to call mole to mole calculation. Mole to mole calculation. So these are calculations from what? Equations. So mole to mole calculations. How can you go about such questions in an exam? Or how can you know that this question is falling under mole to mole calculations? How can you know? If you are given the number of moles and you are told to calculate the number of moles. So have you seen, how can you know? How to know? So I'll say how to do it, how to know. These are just tricks that I'm giving you. How to know. How can you know? When given, when what? When given, so I'm going to say when given the number of moles. When given number of moles, when given the number of moles, and then you are told to calculate the number of moles. You are told to calculate the what? The moles. So whenever you are given the number of moles and you are told to calculate the moles, just know that that question is falling under mole to mole calculations. Questions will be like this. You get to encounter questions that get to come in this manner. You just have a question where they are telling you to say how many moles. So I'll say this is example 1. So this is example 1. The question is telling us to say how many. So even as I'm writing down, you're also writing down these questions. How many moles? Have you seen how many moles of chlorine? How many moles of chlorine are required? How many moles of chlorine are required? So how many moles of chlorine are required to react 2.5 moles of calcium? 2.5 moles of calcium to produce what? To produce calcium chloride. To produce calcium chloride. This is a wonderful question that you are given. To produce calcium chloride. This question, how can you now answer this question? The first thing you need to do, you need to identify the question. Is this mole to mole calculations or it's under mass to mass? Because we are going to look at all those things. So we are looking at mole to mole. So how many moles are required to react 2.5 moles? You are told to find the number of moles and you are given the number of moles. It's an interesting question. So what we are going to do for us to answer this question, we've identified that this question is falling under mole to mole calculations. So I've told you that you need to write a balanced chemical equation. That's the first thing you need to do. You write a balanced chemical equation. So chlorine reacting with the calcium. Moles of chlorine are required to react with 2.5 moles of calcium. So what I need to do in this case, I just need to say this is what calcium is reacting with the chlorine. Chlorine gets to have a 2, so producing what? Calcium chloride. Don't ask me that this 2 that is here, is this 2 that is there? No. This is chlorine that gets to exist as a diatomic molecule. I told you that group 7 elements are called halogens because those are salt formers. And when they are existing alone, you need to include a 2. This 2 is not a valence. Valence is coming from the calcium. Calcium is like this. So we've got 2 plus, chlorine has got a negative. So their valences are going to change. This one goes there, this one goes there. So you get to have calcium like this, then chlorine 2 there. This one, that is a 1. So a 1 goes there, changes nothing. So this is where these 2 you are able to see is coming from. This is the reason why when we've got a compound like sodium chloride. Have you seen how sodium chloride is? It is like this. But an equation, how is an equation? An equation is like this, plus chlorine, there is a 2 there. Then giving us what? Sodium chloride. So don't say, okay, there is a 2, I need to put a 2 there. Don't do that. You are kidding yourself. So you need to know the formation of what? The formation of chemical formulas. Chemistry is all about chemical formulas. Once you are able to understand chemical formulas, you discover that this becomes even simple. You are able to understand and you'll be able to move clearly. This is what you are supposed to know. So, away from this, the other thing that we have to understand, since we are looking at this question, so we've written this equation. We ask yourself, is it balanced? Yes, this is a what? Balanced equation. So it is a balanced equation. If it is not balanced, you need to balance it. But in this case, this is already what? This is already balanced. It's a balanced chemical equation. It is more to more. So we get the ratios here. Since it is already balanced, there is a 1 already. Here there is a 1. Even here there is a 1 because we haven't put any number to balance this. So there is 1, 1, 1. So all the ratios are 1 here. So you are told how many moles of chlorine. We are going to get chlorine. Chlorine here. How many moles? From the equation. So the first part, we get it from the equation. We say 1 mole. 1 mole of what? 1 mole of chlorine. 1 mole of chlorine is equivalent to what? They are telling us to say to react with 2.5 moles of calcium. So even the moles for calcium, we get it from the equation. The first part, get it from the equation. Equation, calcium is here. It is also 1. Calcium, it is also what? It is also 1. So I'll say 1 mole. 1 mole of what? Calcium. This is what I'm going to do. Because here there is 1, but if there was a 2, I would have said 2 moles of calcium. You start with the first thing you are told to find. So here we shall put x. Want to find the number of moles? I put x. But for calcium, I'm given, what am I given? 2.5 moles of calcium. I put 2.5 moles of what? Of calcium. This is what I need to do. So I now find x where I will just concentrate on the numbers. So just concentrate on the what? Your concentration should just be on the numbers. Don't say, these are confusing me, this. Just say 1 times 2.5. And this is x times 1, we get x. Which is equal to 1 times 2.5. You are going to get 2.5 moles. Of what? Since we are solving for x, it's under chlorine. So chlorine like that. So meaning that this is the answer. 2.5 moles of chlorine. You've answered just like this. So here you do what? You cross multiply. I just cross multiplied. Where I say this one, you just multiply the numbers. Don't say these are confusing me. Your concentration should just be on the numbers. That's where your concentration should be. Let us look at question 2. So question 2, or rather example 2. So we look at question number 2. Question number 2, where you are given a question like how many moles. So they are telling you to say how many moles. So make sure you are writing down these questions. Even as I'm teaching, you are also writing down how many moles of carbon dioxide. How many moles of carbon dioxide will be produced? Will be what? Will be produced by complete combustion. By complete combustion. So whenever we are talking about combustion, I guess you know what we mean. When a substance reacts with oxygen, that is a combustion reaction. So of combustion of 2 moles of glucose. So 2 moles of what? 2 moles of glucose, according to the equation. Here they have given you the equation according to the equation. According to the what? According to the equation. So they have given you an equation according to the equation. Which equation? So the equation is like this. The equation that you are given is already balanced. So they are telling you glucose that is like this. There is a 12 O, then 6 there, reacting with the 6 moles of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide plus water. This is what you are given. We are given this equation. So this is an equation that is given, already balanced for us. So how can we identify this particular question? How can we know that in this particular question, this is mole-to-mole calculations? In an exam, they won't tell you. It's up to you to identify. So you need to identify on this question is falling under this to this calculation. So they're telling us to say how many moles. They're telling us to find the number of moles produced by complete combustion of 2 moles. Of what? 2 moles. Mole-to-mole calculation. So you just get what you are taught to find and what you are given in the question. Then you are going to know the kind of equation that you are dealing with. So we are dealing with a mole-to-mole calculation. So they are telling us how many moles of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is here. The first part I've already told you, you get from an equation. So you need to get from a balanced equation. You get it from a balanced equation. Hope we are moving together. So you get it from a balanced equation. So moles of carbon dioxide, we've got 6 here. So I will say 6 moles of carbon dioxide. 6 moles of what? Carbon dioxide. I equate to what? I'm given 2 moles of glucose. Glucose, it's just having 1. Here there is just a 1. Here there is just a 1. We haven't put anything. So we say 1 mole of what? Glucose, which is C6H12O6. That is what we are given. Then we now go to what we are given in the question. Here we want to find for carbon dioxide. Then here I put, this is now what? Glucose, 2 moles of glucose. So I put 2 moles here. 2 moles of what? Glucose. This glucose that is there, this is what I'm going to do like this. So from here now, I cross multiply. It's just a matter of cross multiplication. So I've told you, what do we do here? We just concentrate on the numbers. So this is x times 1. It is just x, which is equal to, x is equal to what? 2 times 6, it is 12. So 12 moles. What are we finding? Carbon dioxide. 12 moles of carbon dioxide. Meaning that this is a particular question. This is the answer we need to find. So you need to know how to find this particular answer. Just like this, you are done. These are certain things you need to know. You need to make sure that you are able to understand questions that will come in an exam. Just like this. Can we fail to do this? No, you can't fail. You can only fail this if one, you don't study. You may understand this lesson today. If you don't practice tomorrow, you end up forgetting. So let's just make sure that we know everything that I'm telling you, everything that I'm giving you. All these things, you need to make sure that you understand them. You need to understand them clearly. Let us now move to the next part. So we move to the next part. I guess this is too simple. You are able to understand this. I guess you are able to work out questions like this. You are just comparing, nothing much. It is just a matter of comparing. Let us move to more to mass calculations now. So the second one that I want us to start is called more to mass calculations. How can we go about such questions in an exam? So how can you know how to know? How to do what? How to know. How to know. How can you know that on this question I'm supposed to use the more to mass calculation? When given, so when you are given mass, then told to calculate, then told to calculate, then you are told to calculate the moles, or given moles, then told to calculate mass. Then you are told to calculate what? You are told to calculate mass. This is a nice question. More to mass calculation is very good because here you are given the mass, then you are told to calculate the moles. Or you can be given, this is another sentence. Don't say a question will just come like this at once. No. You can be given the first part, or you are given the second part. So the first part is where you are given mass, then told to calculate moles. Or you can be given moles, then you are told to calculate mass. That is how questions will be coming. In this case, what if you are given a question like this? Let us look at an example. This is an example, good example. So I'll say example 1. What mass? You are given a question to say, what mass of hydrogen? What mass of what? What mass of hydrogen can be produced? Can be produced. What mass of hydrogen can be produced? Can be what? Can be produced by reacting. Can be produced by reacting 6 moles, by reacting 6 moles of aluminium. So 6 moles of aluminium. 6 moles of aluminium with hydrochloric acid, which is like this. So we analyze the question. What mass of hydrogen can be produced by reacting moles? We are given the moles there. So we ask ourselves, okay, with this particular question, so I need to write a balanced chemical equation. I write a balanced chemical equation. So how can I write the balanced chemical equation? I say, okay, I'm reacting aluminium with what? Hydrochloric acid. So I say aluminium, which is like this, plus hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is like this. Giving me what? What am I having when I react the two? I'm going to produce aluminium chloride. Aluminium chloride that is going to be like this. Plus what? What else am I going to produce here? Hydrogen gas. This is what is going to be produced. So let me write it properly like this. So you now ask yourself, you need to ask yourself, is this equation balanced? This equation, is it balanced? We've got chlorine 3 there. Chlorine is 1 here. We need to balance up this. We've got hydrogen 2, hydrogen 1. How then do you balance? You start analyzing a question. You say, okay, what I'm going to do, if I put a 2 here, let's say I put a 2 here, then here I put a 6. So, have you seen chlorine 6? 2 times 3, 6. 6 times 1, it is a 6. So chlorine is balanced. Aluminium 2, I can just put a 2 here. Hydrogen 6, I put a 3 here. This is another work that I've introduced to you now. Know how to balance. Know how to balance chemical equations. You need to know how to balance chemical what? Chemical equations. That part we did. It has now come back. You need to know how to balance chemical equations. Because if you don't know how to balance, then you may even fail questions that you already understood the concept. Just because you failed to balance a particular equation, you can fail. So let's make sure that we know how to go about these things. Let's make sure that we are able to answer questions in an exam where you are taught to balance, you are able to balance up chemical equations. So we now answer the question, what are we taught? What mass of hydrogen? What mass of hydrogen? So we are taught to find the mass of hydrogen. So what we are going to do is that we'll be getting the moles, since we are given the moles for aluminium. So I'll be saying moles to what? To what I'm taught to find. So moles to what I'm taught to find. This is what I will be doing. So this is what I need to do. So the relationship is just between aluminium and oxygen, just these two. I'm taught to find the mass. So I'm taught to find the what? I'm taught to find the mass. So I'm going to use mole to mass. Mole to mass. This is what I'm going to use. Mole to mass. Mole to mass. This is what I will use. So I will say, okay, to answer up this particular question, what I need to use, I say, how many moles? So I'm going to say, this is what? This is aluminium. So I will say 2 moles. 2 moles of what? 2 moles of aluminium. This is aluminium. Because I'm given the moles for aluminium, I equate to what? I equate to the mass of hydrogen, where I also need to include the balanced equation. So I need to include this balanced equation. So there is a 3 times 2 here. You know that this one, you're just going to tell me that hydrogen, it is just 2 grams here. Since there is a 3, I get to multiply it with a 3. I'm going to get 6. So 6 grams of what? Hydrogen gas. This is what I'm going to do. Then I'm given here 6 moles. I'm given 6 moles of what? I'm given in the question 6 moles of aluminium. I now equate to what? X, because I want to find the mass that is here. What I'm going to do now, I just say x times 2. It is what? It is 2x. So I'll say 2x, which is equal to 6 times 6. That is 36. I've already told you that your focus are just the numbers. You just need to get the what? You just need to get the numbers. Focus is the numbers. So you multiply. So we get to do what? We get to multiply. How are we going to multiply here? We say 6 times 6. From 6 times 6, divide. 2, 2. So you need to know how to divide. Like this, cancel out. Where you say, therefore, x is now equal to 18. 18 grams of what? Hydrogen, that we want to calculate hydrogen like that. So we are doing everything with a balanced equation. We are getting a balanced equation, just like this. So I know you may find some difficulties here and there. But once you know what is happening, then you can't fail to answer a question in an exam. I want you to know this. I want you to understand this way of handling questions. Just need to know this. This is something that is not that difficult. As long as you are able to practice through, you are able to answer questions. So you just understand what you are given. Moles. So be using moles, equating to the mass that you are given. What if you are given a question here? They are telling you to answer this particular question. Let's say a question is like this. So let's get this as an example. You are given this particular question. So let's say you are given, the question is like this. So this is example 2 that is given. This is our example 2. Make sure you write it down in your book. So make sure you write down this question. So how many grams of oxygen are required to react with 0.3 moles of aluminium? Have you seen how many grams mass you are given the moles? So this is a mole to mass calculation. So it can be a mole to mass or mass to mole. It is just one and the same. So the equation is already given here and it is balanced. What we just need to do is equating. It's just a matter of us equating. So what are we going to do? We equate. How do we equate? What I just need to do, I just need to say, okay, aluminium I'm given here. So I will say 4 moles of aluminium. I equate to what now? I'm told to oxygen. Oxygen, where is oxygen? Oxygen is here. This is what? Oxygen. The grams now. So oxygen is, I get the way it is balanced like that. So I'll say 2 times 16. That is O level periodic table shows 16. We equate now, we say equals, that is what? That is 32. 32 times the 3 that is there, times 3, you are going to get what? 96 grams. So I say 96 grams. Then I'm given 0.3 moles. I'm given 0.3 moles of aluminium. I equate to oxygen, which is X. From here, what am I going to do? X times 4. It is 4x, which is equal to. It is equal to what? I multiply here. So I need to multiply 96 multiplied by 0.3. Here I divide throughout by 4. I divide even there by what? By 4. These are steps that I need to do there. So which means that the answer that I'm going to get, this and that, I'll just say x is equal to, now you get your calculator, you multiply 96 times 0.3. After you see the answer, that's when you divide by 4. You need to get 7.2 grams. I will say of what? Oxygen. So therefore x is equal to this. Then this is the what? This is the answer. The same way I'm solving, that's how you need to know how to solve. So let's make sure that we know how to work out questions like this. As simple as this. You don't even need to struggle here. Just understand what you are given in the questions. So I'm going to give you an exercise. I see how you are going to come up with the answers. So if I see how people are going to respond, I'm going to know that, okay, people have understood this particular topic or not. But if I get a positive response, I will be proud of myself. So let's make sure that we know how to answer questions just like this. So this is now where we've started. I guess you can now see that this is different to what we've been doing. This is something now different, and it involves your critical thinking. So let's make sure that we are able to understand these questions clearly. So let me give you an exercise. I see how you are going to handle it. I see how you are going to attend to that exercise that I'm about to give you. I see how you are going to come up with the answers. So this is 30 minutes, and another 30 is more than enough for you to do the exercise. I'll just give you 2 questions that I want you to try out and see how you are going to answer those particular questions.